I believe the journey of a Christian life is a journey of a life that walks towards God's light, that turns away from the darkness. And I think the journey of a Christian life is a journey out of the darkness of this world. Every day you are making a decisive decision with prayer to turn away from the darkness of this world and to turn towards God's light and be informed by His light, make decisions informed by His light. You can find yourself in situations where there are countless things that can frustrate you, take up your mental energy, emotional energy, spiritual energy. And I think it's so important that at the start of your day you make a decisive decision with prayer that, Lord, I'm going to follow you and I'm going to put my life in your hands. That's what it means to be righteous and holy, is to put your life in God's hands so that His hands make your life clean and pure and good by His hands. And through Jesus' love, He did that. He put His life in God's hands. What we tend to do is we try to do things our own way. Let's say we're in a frustrating situation, we try to solve it with our own wisdom, and it's not always good. Like let's say there's someone that frustrates you and you want to lash out in anger at them because you've got a right to. They've disrespected you, they've hurt you, they've said things out of line, and you got every right to be angry, lash out, say things that make them feel like this. That's not the way of the Lord. The way of the Lord, maybe you stand up for yourself, you tell them, you're firm with them, but you don't say any destructive words. Nothing venomous. You don't say anything really hurtful to them. You call them out, you're firm, you're strong with your words even, but you have to have a light of kindness there, and that's being imbued by God's words. And God's thoughts, being imbued by God's thoughts. And I think it really starts with just being very decisive, and to be decisive about following God instead of following the darkness of this world, to be decisive about being led by God's light instead of being led by the darkness of this world. I think it really starts with being decisive in the morning. When you start by being led by God, it makes everything else till the end of your day. When you start your day with being led by God, it makes it easy for every part of the rest of your day to be led by God. When you don't start by being led by when you don't start by being led by God, and you're just led by whatever happens in the world, it makes it really hard to find God afterwards when you've been affected first by the stuff of this world. And I think a big part I'm learning is you got to have a meaningful life. I get really annoyed when well-meaning Christians, pastors, church members who wish they were pastors. I don't mean to be rude. No, that was a bit rude. I'm sorry. They say things like it's all about heaven and it's not about this life. It's all about the next life. Well, yeah, our ultimate home is the next life, and there's nothing more valuable than our ultimate home in heaven. But to quote the great pastor Jeremy Persons, the wonderful pastor Jeremy Persons, he says, just because it's worth less. He was talking about money, but it applies to things of this world. It applies to our life in this world. Just because it's worth less doesn't mean it's worthless. Our life in this world isn't worthless. Just because the greatest worth is our life in heaven, it doesn't mean our life in this world is worth less, because our life in this world, there's a direct link between our life in this world to our life in the next world. There's a great responsibility that our life in this world resembles the character of our Father in heaven. There's a great responsibility on us that our life in this world has a resemblance to the image of God in heaven. And that's what we have to pray for. Not strive for, but pray for. Because we're not the ones who do the striving. The Spirit strives when He comes into us, because we accept the love revealed by Jesus on the cross.